Hi, I'm Tyler Bishop, and in this episode of Ezoic Explains, I'm going to walk you through how to create segments inside of Google Analytics and to use that information to better look at specific forms of traffic. In this case, we're going to look at organic traffic. So I'm inside of my Google Analytics account, and I'm going to click on Audience first of all, over here on the left-hand side. As this information pulls up, I can see my information over a certain date range. I'm going to widen it for the sake of this example. So I'm looking at my traffic from February through April 13th now, and you can see up here at the top, it's telling me that I'm looking at all users. So this is all website visitors. We talked about the difference between visitors and sessions and new sessions and things like that in a previous Ezoic Explains. And in this case, I'm going to want to look at my organic traffic. So while I can go down to acquisition, and I can look at all traffic, and I can look at this in terms of channels and source mediums. Sometimes you just want to look at all the information and know everything that you're looking at is your organic traffic. Sometimes this is how publishers can better understand whether or not they're losing or gaining traffic over a certain period of time. So I'm going to go in here at the top where it says all users, and I'm going to go down to organic traffic. So this is one that has already been created. It's out of the box, meaning you will already have this built inside of Google Analytics for your account. And now I can look at it compared to all users, but in this case, I actually want to deselect all users now and click apply. So now I'm not looking at all of my traffic. I'm only looking at my organic visitors, which you can see makes up 34.96% of all the visitors that come to my website. I can see how many that is, and I can look at the total sessions and everything like that. I can also, and this is one of my favorite things to do, let's say I felt like in March I got less organic traffic than I did in February. I can basically select March here, and then I can say compare to the previous period. I can also look at the previous month. I can set a custom one, or I can look at the previous year. But in this case, I just want to look at the previous period. And you can see I would have been right, because I could see now that in March compared to the previous period, which was January 30th through February 29th, I'm getting 30% less organic traffic, 29% fewer visitors, and my page views are down as well. So now I could actually go in and I could start to look at things like which landing pages specifically. So I can go to behavior, site content. I can look at all pages, but I want to see which ones they're landing on. So what pages are people not getting to my site from that they were before? So I can see it's really driven largely by a very small number of articles. So I've got one here on knee bursitis and one here on MCL sprains, which is a knee ligament. You can see some that I've actually gained some traffic on, but not as much as I've lost, and really specific to some of these other articles. So I can see my new sessions are up, and I can see that they're up to these articles, but ultimately my sessions are down. I can see my bounce rate has gone up, and my pages per session has gone down as well. So it's something I might want to dig into a little bit further in something like Google Search Console. I can also go in a little bit further and look at specific technologies. So I could look at the browsers or the networks, but in this case, I want to really look at mobile. So now I can look at just search traffic, and I'm comparing 2 periods of time, and I can see my decline is largely on desktop traffic and tablet traffic. You can see my mobile traffic has gone down as well, but compared to the rest, my average was 30%, mobile traffic was a decline of 16%, and desktop was 42%. So it gives me a better idea of maybe where I should focus some time. I would say generally I see the opposite, where a lot of times publishers will spend lots of time on their desktop and not enough time on their mobile, and often that neglect will lead to worse performance metrics on mobile than desktop. You could also look at specific locations that are driving this. So you can see, is it the United States? Is it the United Kingdom? Is it Australia? You can actually see I've got a small gain here, very small, here in Australia. And I can go back here to the top, and I can just look at my general overview. So this is how you would basically split out organic traffic so that you're only looking at organic traffic as a segment. Once again, it's up here at the top inside of Google Analytics. Once you select it, you may want to deselect all users, or you can look at those things and compare them. So you can see I actually declined in traffic overall. So my all users, so all visitors were down 21%, but not near as much as my organic traffic, which is probably driving a good portion of this. Hopefully this has been helpful in helping you better navigate Google Analytics and your organic traffic.